His Excellency, the Governor of Embu, Governor Wambora, CEC, is it? Sure. Dr. Muturi, a very clever man. The chair and all the leadership of KISA, fellow principals who are here, I was going to say my fellow countymen and women who all gather here. How are you? Good afternoon. Your Excellency, let me take this opportunity first to thank you for the wonderful, wonderful welcome that you've given me and the great respect that you bestowed upon me. And secondly, thank you for the reception and the welcome that you've given to my principals who've come to your county, the county of land of opportunities. So I'm sure there'll be plenty of opportunities here, which they'll be seeking. They're very industrious people, very hardworking, and very committed and dedicated. And that's why I made an effort to say that I'll come here to tete-a-tete with them. And then from here, I'm going now to my county. You've heard we've had issues in our county, so I'm just going to make sure all is well. And try to make it back to Nairobi because I've got a committee meetings in Mombasa dwelling on energy. We are happy to note on the great strides that you're doing and here in the education, the strides that you're achieving in the county of Embu. We wish you well. We know that this year ndio mwaka ile. For you and I, if we are not careful, we could be staring unemployment right in the face. But somebody like you, who's done tremendously well for his people, I'm sure and I know, and with God's blessings and God's will, you will overcome. And hopefully August 10th, we'll be waiting to hear in Baringo that our favorite governor has done well. So I'm not going to keep you, because I know you've got other matters which you like to attend to. So I can release you and Dr. Ari and say thank you so much for coming.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you so much.
I'm happy to be here today with all of you in Embu. Governor Wambora is a great friend, and he was correct during the time the difficult time he had. This matter came up to the Senate, and my colleagues were not too happy with the stand I was going to take. But I said, I have to stand on principle. And good or bad, you stand on your principles. And he's a good, honest man with an impeccable character. And all this time, from when he was in Baringo and in his public service, he has shown nothing less but the best. And a man of integrity. And I voted with my conscience at that particular time, irrespective of where the wave was going. And he's done well, and good for him. And Magogas play me next time. So to me kambegu kidogo chupata is. So mine is to say just a few remarks to your good selves. We've shared a few moments with the leadership who welcomed us in the holding room. And just to say I'm happy to be here and wishing you well as you discuss the reforms and, as they said, walking the reforms and the reforms in the educational sector. We've got the new policies now just coming in, the new curriculum. There'll be challenges, of course, which you'll face. And yourselves as principals, you're the beacon, you're the anchors of the school, and you must be able and competent enough to carry out those policy changes. The chairman said correctly that you've got a client, and the client, of course, is the students, and vis-a-vis, and of course, intertwined with that, the parents. So you've got great responsibilities. In Baringo, you've done your best, and you've done a sterling job, and we're proud of you. We're proud of what you've managed to do. We are proud of the students you've managed to take to the next level. Not all students, though, have managed. The university. I know a lot of them would like to go to university, but not all. And that is where I saw a big gap of the students where we couldn't get them to universities and they did not have any skills. So you find thousands of our young ones who are left at home and no skills. They've just reached and stopped. And it is sad that one sees that they feel that their life has stopped for them there. And that must not be the case. So that's when we started BTOP, which you've seen, where we are taking children from the locational level and putting them into technical institutions. And I'm happy we've reached 245, I think. The chairman is here. Yes. 235. So we've managed that. Staking. Thank you. We'll push them through that, and hopefully, again, God willing, this next intake will be having a meeting, the graduation ceremony in our technical institute in Capso. Yes, Capso. And we'll be having it there, and we'll be making some more announcements when we are there. It is important that our young ones know that there is a future after their schooling, and we enrich them with these talents and skills so that they can further it. And of course, there's challenges I know you're facing again, the issues of bursary. It's difficult because even as leaders, we get a humongous request of assistance because of the poverty levels that are at home. And that is where we're trying with what now we have the energy bill, or rather more specifically the local content bill, which is before us in the Senate. And part of it is, as you know, is the 30% revenue share, where we've said that we want 30% of the revenues which we'll be getting from our natural resources to stay in the county. 20% will stay in the county per se, county headquarters, and the 10% goes to the community. Now, with that kind of monies, or those types of monies which will be available to the governor, he'll have a leeway in assisting the needy. And I've foreseen in my own calculations, my own office has done, that we won't have an issue, per se, a huge issue on issues of bursary if we collect the 30% from the natural resources which we have, which is geothermal now, which is proven, it's there. We have, of course, the natural resources, and now the new find of the oil. The other issue which we are doing, of course, is, and the challenge which you are having and which your leadership has told us is the most serious one. And that is the issue of insecurity. And I stand here and I mourn with you and I empathize with you because you've lost 2 teachers because of the insecurity that we have in our county. It is very unfortunate, it is very sad, it is something which is diabolical that it happens in this day and age. As leaders, we've made our pleas, we've made our feelings known. And even the other day when I was up in the Baringo North, where we are giving and distributing food and clothing and etc. to the needy, we pleaded with the president that to come in and take charge. And I think as teachers you heard that. And the government now has come in and they're doing their job. The security services have arrived and they're now beginning their job. And we support that. We support what the security services are doing. We want law and order to be restored in Baringo. There is no one in their right mind who can say that they do not want law and order to be restored. And there's no one in their right mind who can stand and protect criminal elements. Whoever is perpetuating these, and let us be very clear, they are criminals. And the law is very clear on what you do with criminals. It's very clear. So, tuzitapatape ati iko hii hapana. You deal with them as the law prescribes. And we bring them to book. And we pursue them until we get them. We cannot allow total anarchy to prevail in our county. And we had reached that stage. You've seen how many schools, your schools which have shut down. You've seen how many loss of life that was there. And no one, we cannot condone it. We do not condone that at all. We condemn it in the strongest possible terms. And we thank the government in what they're doing. Where I was reprimanding the government is that they are coming in too late. I wish they had done this in the beginning when we were crying out about the situation. But as they say, well, better late than never. So, kangu testa isa kasi nangwanye andane. We want our schools open. We want our children back in schools. All other parts of the country, the children are furthering their academic careers, while ours are in the standstill, they're in limbo because of the insecurity situation. And this must not go on. This cannot go on. This must not be allowed to go on. So we hope now with the security situation, the officers who are there on the ground will bring back law and order. We open the schools, we get the teachers to go back, and we want, of course, compensation. The government has said that they will give us compensation of 100 million. That is, in my humble opinion, is not adequate. If you see the loss of life and property in Baringo, it's over $1 billion. Clearly over $1 billion, clearly, which we need the government to consider and pay the compensation. As they've said, they will. So once that normalcy returns, we then have our county back, and life should go on. The saddest part, and this is where as teachers and as principals and as leaders in your own right, and I said it, that if you do not check it now, it could get into a situation where it is total anarchy. where community goes against community, where now you can lead into genocide if it's not arrested immediately. We've had leaders, teachers killed. We've had leaders now, you heard the other day, were killed. So now, which leader is safe now? Who knows what can happen tomorrow to anybody? And the campaign period, even who know. So kutonon. Agemete ngundi lambechek, inge kaguto lambechek magosoma. And I took you in social media. Chumati bigle ngundi omo tuku chubama mabai man. Uongo tupu. Mi alak karamon mi alak go chuboy. Kule kaet Gideon ko kasota kagwito go embu.
Baringo Senator Gideon Moi there meeting head teachers who